This is DFW Home Talk, where we educate you on the real facts of the local real estate, credit, and finance markets, empowering you to make informed decisions for you and your family, achieve financial goals, and the dream of home ownership with financial security. Now your host, Kimberly Beckham.
Our guest today is Brett Herbert. He's the owner of Skyline Appraisal Group, and he's been serving the DFW area for 11 years. And he's a certified FHA appraiser with a BBA in real estate from UTA. Thank you for being here, Brett.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Brett, what resources do you use when you're determining the value of a home?
Well, we access an online database called MLS, and basically this is where we look at active listings, pending sales, historical sales data, and we're just basically crunching all this data and trying to get a good idea of what's going on in the market. We look at the actual subjects addition, we look at the immediate market area, and there are so many listings on there that it just takes a lot of time to kind of figure out what's going on. Where are the trends going? What are the days on market like? Listing information.
Who has access to the MLS program?
As far as I know, it would be realtors and appraisers.
Okay, so it's really important to have real estate professionals on your side. Like we were talking about earlier with the for sale by owners that don't have access to that. The information that's used by the appraiser is only available to myself and you.
Exactly.
So tell me, what is it when you're looking at a home that gives it the most weight and the most value?
Well, basically, when we go out to a property and we want to physically inspect it for square footage, and we want to take lots and lots of pictures, and we're just trying to paint a picture for the lender of what is going on with this property, what kind of updates the property has, what type of external influences is going on. Is the property back to a highway? Does it back to a power line? Those would obviously be negative things. But what if it backs to a golf course or has a water view? These are all big ticket items that are going to affect the value.
You know, a question that I get often is, what types of updates or improvements can I do to my home that would really help increase the value of the home? What would you suggest? What would be my best answer for that?
Kitchens and bathrooms, flooring, roof, fencing, stuff of that nature.
So when you talk about roof, you're talking about if there's a need to replace it, that actually adds an improved value to the property?
Yeah, basically if we pull up 3 comparables and these comparables are selling for X, Y, and Z price, and the roof on all of these homes is in need of repair, well, that's going to be a place where we're going to make an adjustment if the subject that we're appraising has a new roof.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Can you explain what an adjustment is?
Right. So basically, when we look at the market, and our job is to pull 3 comparable sales, the best 3 comparable sales that we feel most accurately represent the subject in age, GLA, which is square footage, location. And we put all of these in a grid. And what we do is we try to make these comparables as similar to the subject as possible. Now, in an ideal world, what we would have is a comparable sale that is exactly like the subject. It's the same square footage, it's the same age, and it's a recent sale. And this house sold for $200,000. Well, that's a very good indicator of valuing the subject at $200,000. Now, this rarely happens. So what we do is we try to bracket the subject. So we'll find a house that is exactly the same square footage if possible. We'll find one that's a little bit smaller. We'll find one that's a little bit bigger. And we're going to add and subtract value to get an idea of what those homes would have sold for if they were the same size as the subject. And from there, we get a range of value. Say we have an adjusted range of value of $200,000, $205,000, $210,000. That is our range to work with. Our appraised value has to fall somewhere within that range. Now, where that value falls is kind of the art behind the science. Typically, the appraised value is going to be given to the comparable sale that has the least amount of adjustments and is the most recent sale. So in that case, like I said before, a range from $200,000 to $210,000, it's possible that we could come in at 203, come in as high as 208. And our job is to describe to the lender why we are placing the appraised value at that exact spot.